My name is Nelson Malekela, Strategy Director at IPF Softwares and a business analyst. This product, Bima Bot, has been dear to me because it's a project that I think it serves a lot in insurance industry, especially in Tanzania, because we are so far behind. So insurance industry, application of digital platforms, I would say, or digital solutions in insurance industry, especially in Tanzania, I think is still very low. To make you understand more where we are, I'll just give an example of car insurances, right? Now, in car insurances, most of the insurances probably we are aware of, majority of us as Tanzanians. There are two groups. One of them is called comprehensive insurance, and the other one is third party. Majority of us actually owns a third party insurance. The third party insurance is where if anything happens, for example, an accident, the money paid, which is called a premium, is going to solve an issue by covering the offended part, right? The victim. So in that case, everybody pays the same amount. So if you're getting a third-party insurance, everybody pays the same amount, the same premium, because it doesn't relate to the cost of your car. But in comprehensive, that's different, right? In comprehensive, the insurance company has to cover both you and the third party, right? Now, if that is the case, because they cover you, it means they have to understand more about your car, right? For example, if it's a Range Rover, probably 2023 version, and the one in 2016 version, those are two different in terms of expenses when you get an accident, for example. Now, to do that, right, normally you would say that a customer has to submit car pictures, right? And then you have agents have to manually take a look at them and say, okay, and assess the risk in general, right? Once they assess the risk, it's when they tell you how much you should pay as a premium so that you can get covered. But with AI agents, that's different because those pictures can be sent from a customer when they're just at their home. They can just send them. There can be automation in terms of how they assess, right? So the risk assessment in that sense is a lot easier compared to the manual way, right? Now, normally, or traditional softwares would like your software, your Excel, for example, which includes member details to be extra perfect, or I would say, for it to be uploaded in a system.
It should always track.
Yes, it has to be structured, it has to be perfect. But if you do that with technologies like AI and machine learning, you can have a very imperfect. You can have a column, even is not even known for number, and just as long as you put phone numbers, it will recognize this is a column that is this is a phone number column, for example. So there's that level of intelligence, because in life assurances, especially, there is extensive data to upload. The beneficiaries data, sometimes if it's group covers, you have to upload a lot of members and all that. That part of underwriting and custom onboarding always becomes way more efficient, right? Now, whether it's life, it's general, the underwriting process is shared by both, because in insurance is a risk business, I would say, and in essence, and that means assessment of risk is super important. You can't skip custom onboarding, you can't skip underwriting process, right? Now, once the underwriting process is done, there's always processes around managing the cover. So it's, for example, you have received a cover, right? There are processes, for example, renewal of a cover, right? When should you renew a cover? So it means the renewal agents actually can make sure that they can work on identifying who should renew the cover, right? In which time, and then send them notification, send them personalized offers, for example, to increase the chance of customer retention. So that's one way management of cover is being, I would say, enhanced by the use of AI agents. But in other cases, the issues like endorsement, right? Cover endorsement. Cover endorsement is changes, application of changes on the cover itself. For example, if you have a third-party cover today, right, and then you want to change it to maybe comprehensive cover before the cover expires, that's called endorsement as a process. Now that also involves the underwriting process. So again, the AI agents come into play. One of the things I would say a lot of agencies, I'm talking about insurance companies, losing customers is how long actually the process of claim takes, right? So because the claim process is super difficult, and you can understand, especially if it's done manually. When documents are sent, for example, you have received a document, somebody says this is a police clearance document, for example, right? How do you know this is a police certificate? Verification of that certificate itself. If you're doing it manually, you have to go one by one, and already you have a lot of claims to process, and that's difficult, right? But if you have object character recognition, for example, and other tools, you can literally just do it in the background using the AI artificial intelligence technology, and the process is quick. The process is super efficient. So that itself is an area where I would say businesses can create advantage compared to other businesses which use either traditional softwares or no softwares at all. And then there's a matter of customer support. The customer support part, just like in claims, right? It's an area that I think differentiates between a business that does well and the business that fails, I would say, or doesn't perform well in insurance. This is a business that has to be 24/7 up. You need to have support 24/7 up, because you don't know, for example, when someone gets an accident. And whenever there's an accident, someone has to report that accident instantly to start the process of claim. Now, the Bima Bot itself, that we have at the moment, the product, because it can solve actually it can work with multiple products. But at the moment, the product that we have works with group funeral cover. In Swahili, they call Bima ya Kikundi. Now, in this one, the first problem that was discovered, and which actually we decided to develop this solution, was in the custom onboarding itself, right? It's making sure that we have a self-custom onboarding channel that is not exhaustive, with experience that is, I would say, different from the one that can be offered when you go physically to insurance companies, for example, right? Now, in this one, the level of engagement that it offers to customers is extremely, I would say, natural conversation. So it's a typical conversation API. The one that you feel the conversation is very natural. So it's not a robotic one. You feel the freedom to answer it, to ask it any question during the process itself. It can tell you, for example, please input your name. Input a name of your group. And you can ask, for example, did I put a name of a registered group or just a casual name? Does it make sense? So there's a sense of, I would say, natural conversation that's happening, which means a lot of people can just fill in details without needing any further assistance until the underwriting process itself is done. So there's that natural conversation that makes it efficient, that makes it saves a lot of time, right? And then there's another part, which I think I've explained it before, data now, uploading the documents, uploading the details, because in the group funeral cover, what you are also uploading, you upload as the one who is interacting with it, first of all, is the lead of that group, right? When they fill in data, they also ask to fill in the data for the rest of the team. Their names, for example, their IDs and all of that. Now, instead of filling one by one, what you can do is actually literally taking their pictures of IDs, for example. You can just upload an ID, existing ID, for example, your national identity, and then the bot itself will take care of extraction of information and save them to the database. You can just have names handwritten in a paper. You take a screenshot, you take a shot of them, you take a photo of them, and they can be uploaded. And so you can find yourself 20 members, 30 members uploaded in just a second, right? Instead of writing one name after another, their marital status, their age, gender, and all that. All of them can just be uploaded in a bulky, in very simple and natural mechanisms. Because most of us might find ourselves that we have names, for example, of group in a certain spreadsheet, or in a certain handwritten paper, or in a certain document, for example. So we offer a chance to upload in all those mechanisms and just have a member of your groups in just a minute or so. But again, once we've done that, right, you find yourself in a position that the underwriting, you have received a cover, now you are insured. But it happens, for example, the death have occurred, and then you need to start claiming process. The claim process is never, I would say, is very difficult for most of people to understand it. So with that agent, you can just come and ask actually, how's the claim process done? Where should I get started? If there's a claim form, where should I get it, right? How can I fill it? So all of that, you can just you can just do self-service, and you can get support and make sure that the process itself becomes a little bit easier. So it enhances the customer experience in a lot of ways, especially when it matters to them. Because I think to most clients, when it matters to them is this during claim, right? In insurance context. Once all that is done, remember there is an issue of renewals, for example, happening. And imagine just having your tool. For example, you have an interface, a WhatsApp interface, and getting notifications about renewals of your cover when the time is almost up, and then getting personalized offers. So all this is the benefits that we are offering using the Bima Bot itself. So I think there are a lot of areas that we have covered to enhance customer experience and making sure that the business actually having an edge, because using that, it gives you an edge in your operation. It saves a lot of cost. I'm pretty sure it saves a lot of cost to those who use it. Thank you for watching. This is AI Ladder by IPF Softwares. See you soon.